Hello everyone and welcome to another Oracle EPM tutorial. In today's video, we're gonna learn one of the most important financial planning concepts that organizations deal with, deferred taxes. Now, if you have ever worked on a planning or financial reporting projects, you have probably noticed something interesting. Sometimes, the profit reported in the financial statements doesn't match the profit used for tax calculation. But why does that happen? If a company earns the same revenue, why would its accounting book and tax record show different numbers? More importantly, how does the company account for those differences without affecting the accuracy of its financial statement? That's exactly where deferred taxes come into the picture. In this video, we'll first understand the business concept through a simple real world story. Then, we'll build the complete planning logic in Excel, implement the same calculation using a Groovy Business Rule and EPM, and finally validate the result in data form. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Before we jump into planning, let's understand the business requirement with a simple example. Imagine a company called ABC Manufacturing Limited. At the beginning of the year, the company purchases a new machine worth $100,000 for its production facility. Now, for accounting purposes, the finance team decides to depreciate the machine early over 10 years. That means every year the income statement records a depreciation expense of $10,000. However, the tax authorities allow a different rule to encourage business to invest in new equipment. They allow companies to claim a much higher depreciation during the initial years. Let's say, for tax purposes, the company is allowed to claim $20,000 depreciation in the first year. Notice it's the same machine, it's the same company, but the depreciation expense is different depending on whether we are looking at the accounting books or the taxes book. Because of this, the company's accounting profit becomes different from its taxable profit. As a result, the amount of tax calculated in the financial statement is different from the tax that the company actually pays to the government. This temporary difference creates what's known as deferred tax. As the years passes and the depreciation amount gradually balances out, this difference also disappears. So, deferred tax is simply a way of recognizing that tax difference exists today but will reverse in future. Now that we understand the business requirement, let's see how we can model this entire calculation step by step in Excel planning before implementing the same logic in Oracle EPM. Now that we understand the business requirement, let's build the complete deferred tax calculation in Excel. At the top, we have input assumptions. The company purchases a bus costing 93,000 with a useful life of 3 years and zero salvage value. The business is expected to generate an annual revenue of 60,000 and the corporate tax is 30%. The only difference between the two reports is depreciation method. For financial accounting, we'll use straight line method, and for tax reporting, we'll use stubborn decline balance. Let's start with the financial accounting section. Since we are using straight line depreciation, the annual depreciation is calculated using the formula. Depreciation is equals to asset cost minus salvage value divided by useful life. So here 90,000 minus 0 divided by 3 equals 30,000 per year. Because the depreciation is the same every year, each year records an expense of 30,000. Next, we calculate pre-tax profit. The formula is very straightforward. Pre-tax profit is equals to revenue minus depreciation. So 60,000 minus 30,000 equals 30,000. Now we calculate accounting tax expense. The formula is tax expense equals pre-tax profit multiplied by rate. So 30,000 multiplied by 30% equals 9,000. Since all 3 years have identical values, the tax expense remains 9,000 every year. Move to tax reporting section. Here we use double decline method. So, so here for calculating the depreciation, we use the Excel inbuilt function. So it takes cost, salvage value, life, and number of period. So Here we have asset cost of 90,000, useful life 3, sale value 0, and period 1. So after the formula, depreciation for the first year is 60,000, second year is 20,000, and the third year opening book value is 10,000. Normally, double decline balance would calculate depreciation as the given formula, but however, since the asset must be fully depreciated by the end of its useful life, we depreciate the entire remaining balance. So the final year's depreciation becomes 10,000, leaving a closing book value of 0. So pre-tax profit is 60,000 minus 10,000, which is 50,000. Tax payable is 50,000 multiplied by 30% is 15,000. If we total the taxes across all 3 years, we get 0 plus 12,000 plus 15,000 equals 27,000. Notice the financial accounting side also reports a total tax expense of 27,000. The total tax over the asset life hasn't changed, only the timing of when the tax is paid is different. And that's exactly why deferred taxes exist. Now, let's calculate the deferred tax liability. For every year, we compare the accounting tax expense with the actual tax payable. The formula is change in deferred tax liability equals accounting tax minus tax payable. So 9,000 minus 0 is 9,000. This creates a deferred tax liability because the company paid less tax than what was recognized in its financial statement. Second year, 90,000. Second year, 9,000 minus 12,000 equals minus 3,000. Part of deferred tax liability is now reversing. Third year, 9,000 minus 15,000 is 6,000 minus 6,000. The remaining deferred tax liability is completely reversed. Finally, we calculate the ending balance using a running total. Ending deferred tax liability equals to beginning deferred tax liability plus change in deferred tax liability. So the first year, 0 plus 9,000, 9,000. Second year, 9,000 minus 3,000 is 6,000. Now the third year, 6,000 minus 6,000 is 0. As expected, deferred tax liability becomes 0 at the end of the asset's life because the temporary difference has completely reversed. At the bottom, we have also validated the same deferred tax using the balance sheet approach. Here we compare the assets carrying value from the financial book with its tax base for the tax book. The temporary difference is calculated as carrying value minus tax base. And the deferred tax liability is simply deferred tax equals temporary difference multiplied by rate. Notice that the deferred tax values are 9,000, 6,000, and finally 0, exactly matching the deferred tax liability calculated using the income statement approach. This confirms that our Excel model is working correctly and is ready to be implemented and planning. Now that our Excel model is ready, let's implement the same business logic using Groovy Business Rule and Oracle Planning. The objective of this script is exactly the same as our Excel sheet. It calculates depreciation using two different methods. Computers computes the deferred taxes liability and writes all the calculated values back into the planning cube automatically. Let's understand the script step by step. So, at the very beginning, we are importing the Excel library. This gives us access to Excel financial functions such as SLN, which calculates straight line depreciation, and DDB, which calculates double decline balance depreciation. Instead of manually writing complex depreciation formula, we can simply use the same financial function that Excel provides. Next, we obtain references to the planning cube and currently opened data form. From the data form, we generate the POV fix statement using CSC params. This is a very useful approach because the rule automatically runs only for the member selected on the form instead of scanning the entire queue. We also retrieve the current year's substitution variable. Since our asset can span multiple years, we extract the numeric part of the years so that we can dynamically calculate an ending year based on the asset's useful life. This means the rule will work every year without any code changes. Next, we declare variable for the business assumptions. These include asset cost, useful life, salvage value, annual revenue. The script then loop through the edited data form and reads these values directly from the planning queue. These are exactly the same input that we entered in our Excel sheet. Instead of hard coding any values inside a script, everything comes directly from the planning form, making the solution completely dynamic. Before performing any calculation, the script validates the input. For example, if the asset cost is 0 or the useful life is less than or equal to 0, the rule immediately stops execution. This prevents invalid calculations and avoids writing incorrect data into the queue. Adding variations like these is considered a best practice for when developing Groovy Business Rule. Now next, the script determines how many years the depreciation should run. It creates a list containing every financial year from the current year until the end of the asset's useful life. For example, if year is FY25 and the useful life is 3 years, the list becomes FY25, FY26, and FY27. This list is later used while generating the depreciation calculation. Now we calculate the financial accounting depreciation. Instead of manually applying the formula asset cost minus salvage value divided by useful life, the script simply calls the XLSNL function. This produces exactly the same depreciation value that we calculated earlier in Excel. Now comes one of the most powerful feature of Groovy. Instead of executing multiple small calculations, we are dynamically building a single space calculation script using a string builder. Once the script is fully prepared, Oracle execute it as one optimized calculation. This approach is significantly faster than updating cell one by one. Before calculating new ru- Before calculating new values, the script clears all previously calculated data. It removes values such as deferred taxes, depreciation expense, accumulated depreciation, book value, pre-tax profit, tax, net income. This ensures that every execution starts with a clean data set and prevents old calculation from affecting the current result. The first fix block performs all financial accounting calculations. Just like our Excel model, the script calculates straight line depreciation, accumulated depreciation, book value, pre-tax profit, tax at 30%, and net income. Notice that the accumulated depreciation is calculated using the prior function. This function retrieves the previous year's accumulated depreciation and adds the current year's depreciation. This creates the same running balance that we built in Excel. Now we move to the tax reporting section. Here the script initializes three variables: current year depreciation, accumulated depreciation, and book value. And it loops through every planning year or, or every year except the last one. The depreciation is calculated using the Excel DDB function. This gives us the double decline balance depreciation that we calculated earlier in Excel. For the final year, instead of using double decline balance function, the script depreciates the remaining book value. This guarantees that the asset is fully depreciated by the end of its useful life and avoids leaving a small residual balance because of rounding. After calculating depreciation, the script calculates accumulated depreciation, book value, pre-tax profit, tax, net income. These values are then dynamically appended to the SPS calculation script for each year. This produces the exact same tax reporting numbers that we verified in our Excel model. Finally, we calculate the deferred tax liability. First, we compare the book value and from financial accounting with the book value from tax reporting. The formula is exactly the same as our Excel sheet. Depreciation difference equals to financial book value minus tax value. Next, deferred tax liability equals depreciation difference multiplied by 30%. Finally, the yearly movement is calculated using the prior function. The formula becomes change in deferred tax liability equals to current year's deferred tax liability minus previous year's deferred tax liability. This gives us the yearly increase or reversal of the deferred tax liability. Once all calculations are added to the string builder, the complete SPS calculation script is returned and executed by planning application. As you can see, every calculation in the Groovy rule directly corresponds to the Excel model we built earlier. The only difference is that instead of calculating values manually, Oracle EPM now performs the entire process automatically for any asset and any planning year. Now, let's validate our implementation in Oracle Planning. I'll start by opening the depreciation data form. Here, I will enter the same assumption that we used in our Excel model. The asset cost is 90,000. The useful life is 3 years. The salvage value is 0 and annual revenue is 60,000. Once all the input values are entered, I'll simply click save. As soon as the data is saved, a Groovy Business Rule is automatically triggered in the background. The rule reads the assumptions, perform all the depreciation calculation for the both financial accounting and tax reporting, computes the deferred tax liability, and writes the result back into the planning queue. After the result, After the rule finishes, we can immediately see the calculated values in the same data form. So let's click on save. So now you can see that business rule ran successfully. On the financial accounting side, notice that the straight line depreciation is 30,000 every year. The accumulated depreciation increases from 30,000 to 60,000 and finally 90,000. The book value decreases from 60,000 to 30,000 and reaches zero. The pre-tax profit remains 30,000 every year, resulting in a tax expense of 9,000 annually. Now I'll Now let's compare this with the tax reporting section. Here the depreciation follows the double decline method. The depreciation values are 60,000, 20,000, and 10,000, exactly matching our Excel calculation. Accordingly, the book value reduces from 30,000 to 10,000 and finally becomes zero. The pre-tax profit changes to 0, 40,000, and 50,000, producing tax amounts of 0, 12,000, and 15,000. These values are exactly the same as the Excel, confirming that our depreciation calculation is working correctly. Now let's open the deferred tax data form. Here we can see that the comparison between financial accounting book value and tax reporting book value. The temporary differences are 30,000 in the first year and 20,000 in the second year. Applying the 30% tax rate gives us deferred tax liability values of 9,000, 6,000, and finally 0. The change in deferred tax is 9,000 in the first year, followed by reversal of 3,000 and 6,000 in the next 2 years. These numbers exactly matches the calculation we verified in our Excel planning model. This confirms that our Groovy Business Rule is successfully reproducing the complete deferred tax calculation inside Oracle Planning, with all calculations being performed automatically whenever the users save the planning form. And that's how you can implement a complete deferred tax calculation in Oracle using Groovy. In this video, we started by understanding the business concept behind deferred tax through a simple example. We then built the entire calculation model in Excel, implemented the same logic using Groovy Business Rule, and finally validated the result in planning data form. As you saw, the total tax paid over the assets life remains the same. The only difference is the timing of when the tax is recognized, and that's exactly the deferred tax are designed to capture. I hope this tutorial helped you understand not only the Oracle planning implementation, but also the underlying business logic behind deferred tax calculation. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to BISP Solution for more Oracle planning tutorials covering real world planning, Groovy scripting, business rules, and enterprise planning use cases. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, feel free to leave them in comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.